Well, hello again, and welcome home to the Church of BL. I'm St.Peachie, your patron saint of the problematic, here today, finally, with part 2 of UUUltraC, or UUUltraC, or UUUltraC. I don't know how you're supposed to fucking say it, but I say UltraC, so that's what it's going to be. This is one of my better performing videos. So I thought I would live stream this mofo on my Discord server. Say hello to my Discord beans on the right hand side of the screen. Hello, Discord beans. Um, if you too would like to be a Discord bean, I will throw a QR code on the screen to join the Discord beans and come hang out and see me do stuff. Where did you get the bean sticker? Oh my god. I need a bean sticker. I need to make a bean sticker. I draw. I can do that. Anyway. Oh god. Oh my god. But anyway, I completely lost my train of thought. It just went, woo. I'm going to pick up exactly where I left off. Nobody in chat has seen any of this, so we're all going in blind, which is fantastic. I remember bits and pieces from when I played the first bit of this game. So we're just gonna learn together and fight kaiju and be awesome, and it's gonna be grand. If we stumble upon any schmexy scenes, which I don't think is gonna happen because side note, this is made by the same people who made Hashihime and Old Booktown, and schmexy scenes take a very, 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 very long time to get to. It is very slow burn, so I don't have a feeling that this is gonna get schmexy very soon. So if it does, though, I will put a little QR code for my Patreon, and that is where all the schmexy scenes will be posted, is on my Patreon. Come join, please. But anyway, hole gotta be the size of the Grand Canyon. What the fuck? Just remember to do that. What did you remember to do? To do the hole? Oh, you sweet bean. Oh my god. I need to figure out a way to post more videos there. Fuck yeah. Anyway, I'm already getting distracted. Let's jump right the fuck into this shit, shall we? No, it's not your fault. This is just how I work. I just function like this. When I do YouTube recordings, that's like I'm by myself and I'm focused and I just go on. But when I'm live streaming or when I like randomly decide that I'm going to live stream, my attention span is like this big. It is not large at all. Oh, fun fact for non-Discord people, for my YouTube people, if you are in the Discord, you can see my face. Isn't that exciting? Currently I have pink hair and cat ear headphones like every beginner streamer ever, and yeah, you too can see my face. But till then, we are going to play the fucking game. I feel like it took me 5 minutes just to get to where I was gonna go. Yep, join the simp squad. Anyway, it was an evil kaiju that had lost control. Ooh, okay. So this one in the very front, this is boyfriend. And then this one in the back is you. And the girl that he's holding is essentially their adopted kid. Um, because I said so. Its roar drowned out the sound of the hero siren. So the hero siren goes off anytime there's a kaiju. Think like Godzilla rules. The only thing I could hear clear as day was Kozuka's voice. Oh, I need to make sure that my sound is up a little more. Sorry, YouTube people, you probably barely heard that. There we go. That's probably better. Sho, take Sakura with you. If he dies, I swear to God. I hate everything. I swear, if I jump into this game and I'm showing people for the first time and then Hot Boy immediately dies. Oh my God. Dang it. Sakura pointed her finger towards the Icarus doll. It too was facing the kaiju from the corner of the room. Kozuka turned towards it.
Kozuka-kun!
Oh God. He ran through the orange-colored blood. He was right in front of the kaiju, right in front of its wide-open mouth. Why is this where I stopped? Why did I stop here? Oh my God. It chomped down at the wall and him. I swung the mahjong table over my head. Even if it was bleeding, even if it was weak, a kaiju was a kaiju. When the hero siren goes off, someone there has to be a hero. The kaiju turned around. It was angry. Its face expanded and its eyes bulged, almost rolling back completely.
Shota!
My vision was dyed with the color of the sun. The sound of something ripping apart echoed around me. It was like a shooting star had been shot out of a popper. Or like I had been thrown into a bed of flowers. Was it all a nightmare? It didn't matter if my eyes were open or closed. There was orange all around me. Thank goodness Kozuka seemed all right. I, on the other hand... Oh God. I was soaked in kaiju blood. Did you kill a kaiju with a mahjong board? It was in my eyes, my mouth, and my nose. The kaiju's blood tasted like orange juice. That's nice. I stood under the water and stared up at the shower head. I had counted the holes in it over and over again. Oh, I love orange juice. Oh my God. Marky. I was trying to wash out my eyes, but I still couldn't get that orange that burned into them to come out.
先ほどの怪獣、元は悪徳占い師だったらしい。警察にしょっぴかれる途中追い詰められて変身したと。
Marky, I like things. This is Cop Dude. Cop Dude so far has been really fucking mean to us, but he's probably a sweet bean burrito. We'll find out. Apparently that kaiju used to be a corrupt fortune teller. Right as the police had him cornered, we were about to arrest him, he transformed.
申し遅れたが僕は蝶津貝四郎。
I apologize for the late introduction, but I'm Shiro Chotsugai.
警察庁にいたからって怪しまないでくれよ。
I'd appreciate it if you didn't find me suspect just because I was at the police station. Also, this is supposed to be confusing. If this is anything like Hachihime, it's going to jump around a lot and be really confusing and not make any sense until we get, like, into peak game. So, If you're confused, it's because you're probably supposed to be confused.
それではまたどこかで。
Well, until we meet again then. Did I even read his last line? I might have read it in my head and then not read it out loud. I'm really good at streaming. When I got out of the shower, I saw a black business card on top of my towel. Afterwards, we moved on to the nearest police box. Even those officers treated me with disdain and sent me out with their cold stares. The chilly night breeze was a million times warmer than they were.
Shota!
Kozuka, who had been sitting on a bench, spotted me and came running.
すまねえ、翔ちゃん。検査はどうだった？
Sorry, Sho. How did the interrogation go?
問題ないって。血液検査の結果は明日手紙で届くみたい。
Fine. The results of the blood test will come by the mail tomorrow.
すまね
I'm sorry.
うん。
Don't be.
え。ひでえ目に合わせちまった。
It's my fault you had to go through that.
君を疑ったのがいけなかったんだ。
I should have never doubted you.
そんなことは。
It's okay. Okay, I think where this scene is they're leaving the police station after boyfriend had tried to claim the little girl as his sister, even though she wasn't his sister. And they're having to like prove that they're related. And I think that's what the blood test was for. And then the kaiju thing was like a flashback, maybe? Again, it's supposed to be confusing. So I don't even remember. People yell at me in the comments for how dumb I am. But yeah. Kosuke had Sakura's hand grasped in his own. She was also holding on as tight as she could. I was glad they didn't have to be torn apart. I'm glad you love your dumb himbo, Peachy. I walked my bicycle while Kozuka carried Sakura on his back. The silence was partially because Sakura was sleeping, but really neither of us could even bring ourselves to speak. We'd been living together for a year now, and he still had secrets. I don't think Kozuka was hiding anything with the intention of hurting me. I was the older one, though. I should have been the one to break the silence. In spite all of that, we eventually made it back home.
おかえりなさい。
Welcome back.
あら、その子は？
Oh, who's this?
こいつは。
She's
小塚くんの妹のさくらちゃんです。
Kozuka's little sister, Sakura.
そう。
I see.
誘拐は警察の勘違いで無事帰ってこられました。
The police thought she was being kidnapped. I went to bring them back safely.
よかったわ。それじゃあ、これからは3人で？
How nice. So it'll be the three of you now?
はい。なるべく静かにしますので。
Yes, we'll keep the noise down to a minimum.
賑やかな方が嬉しいわ。
I'd prefer it to be more lively.
さくらちゃんが起きたら、よろしく伝えて。
Tell Sakura I said hello when she wakes up.
はい。
Sure.
おかん？
BB.
ただいま、我が家。
Welcome to our home. Sakura sat up, still half asleep. When I turned on the TV, an Icarus rerun had just started. Icarus is a hero, I think. Fairly certain. The roar of the kaiju and Juro Sayashi's uplifting voice warmed the cold room. Once I turned on the hot pot for the three of us, it became even warmer.
イカロスなくしてもうた。
I lost Icarus. Her little, action figure.
謝らな。
Sorry.
これでよければ君にあげるよ。
If you're okay with this one, you can have it. It was the huge Icarus plush adorning the house shrine.
初代だけど。
It's a first generation one, though.
それは大事なもんだろ。
Isn't that your most prized possession?
僕が持ってても仕方ないし。
It's not like I'm going to carry it around.
もらってええの？
Can I have it? Yeah.
おおきに。
Thanks. Sakura's cheeks flushed red. Oh my god. She looked up at Kozuka and grinned while biting her lip. That smile of hers really was identical to his. It made me smile right back at her. They're cute. The next day. It was 2 a.m. for everyone. Sakura next to me was fast asleep. She had Icarus clutched to her chest. After seeing such a scary kaiju up close, I hoped Icarus was protecting her in her dreams too. Kozuka should have been on the other side of Sakura, but he wasn't there. The light in the living room wasn't on either. After getting ready and heading outside, I found Kozuka next to my bicycle.
翔ちゃん、おはよ
Morning, Sho.
おはよ
Good morning.
う。今日はちょっと早いな。
You're kinda early today.
う。寒くて目が冴えて。君も風邪ひかないように早く戻ってね。
I couldn't sleep because of the cold. Make sure you come back early too so you don't get sick. I wanted to head to work, but he was still sitting on my bike and wouldn't move.
昨日はすまねえ。怒ってんだろ。
Sorry about yesterday. You're mad, aren't you?
怒ってないよ。
I'm not mad.
ホテル、行けなかったこと。
But we didn't get to go to the hotel. They were gonna go have boyfriend time.
いやできれば別のことで謝ってほしい。
Oh, no. I'd rather you apologize for something else.
寝る前にチューしようとしたでしょ。僕に。
You tried to kiss me last night before bed, didn't you?
さくらちゃんがいるのに何考えてるんだい？
Sakura was right there. What were you thinking?
ん？
はてなじゃないよ。
Stop acting like you don't get it.
昨日から触ってくれねえな。まさか自分が感染したと思ってんのか？
You haven't touched me since yesterday. You don't think you're infected, do you? Are they like zombie rules? That if you get kaiju blood, that you become a kaiju? Hmm.
いやだからさくらちゃんがいるからだよ。
No, of course not. It's because Sakura is here. There was no way a child could understand that her brother and his male friend were dating. Yeah. Not even some adults could understand it. I pulled him by his clothes and got him off my bike. Oh, the seat is warm. Oh. Kozuka nodded with a satisfied look on his face. Who did he think he was, Hideyoshi?
それともう二度と謝らないでね。
Also, don't apologize anymore.
怪獣と戦ったこと自分でも誇らしく思ってるんだ。
Even I think fighting a kaiju is the heroic thing to do.
君も間違っていたなんて思わないでほしい。
I don't want you to think you did anything wrong.
翔ちゃん、
Show.
それともう一つ、さくらちゃんといる君すごく優しいんだね。
And one more thing, you're real sweet when you're around Sakura. Just remembering his sunny face made me smile. The smiles he gave me were always the best.
僕のことも家族みたいに接してくれてありがとう。
Around me, too. Thanks for considering me part of your family.
大好きだよ。
I love you.
翔ちゃん
Oh, he's so cute.
なんで追いつけるんだ。
Why are you chasing me? I was even pedaling as fast as I could.
行ってきますの。 行ってきますのあれ
Where's my goodbye? My goodbye, you know what?
そんな体力あるなら原稿書いて。
Use all that energy to finish your manga. He was pulling on the back of my bike. One false move and I'd go tumbling. They're fucking precious. They're so fucking cute. Something awful is gonna happen to them. Something absolutely terrible. I stood up on the pedals, shook him off, and zoomed away. I finally got rid of him. Maybe that wasn't the best thing to say about my boyfriend. That did sound similar to Alpha Hole. It did. I don't think it's the same, but it did sound similar. The truck arrived early again this morning. Hopefully today wouldn't be as awful as yesterday.
先輩、配達終わったらちょっち時間ありますか？
Senpai, are you free for a bit after your deliveries? Everything can be from Alpha Hole if you believe hard enough. Yeah. For my YouTube people, we have Alpha Hole Wednesdays in the Discord server where we play Alpha Hole Prison, and it is an experience that can only be had via Discord. So you should 1,000% come experience the whole one day. Yeah, we live there. Excuse me.
一緒に来てほしいところがあるんす。
There's somewhere I'd like you to go with me.
何かあったの？
Did something happen?
ここじゃちょっち。
I can't talk about it here. Apparently he didn't want anyone else to hear. This was the first time I'd seen Hayata look so down. I finished my deliveries without a hitch, then switched from my cub to my bicycle. Hayata led me to his delivery route.
ここっす。
Here it is. The faded and dented nameplate read Enya. Hayata went past the gate and placed wildflowers in early bloom at front of the door.
知り合いだったんだ。
Was it someone you knew?
なのに俺っち昨日はしゃいじゃって。
I just realized that he has little alien antenna. Is that normal? Is he a slug? He's fucking cute. Did he always have the little antenna and I just never noticed? Well, what the fuck? Yeah. I was so obnoxious to her yesterday.
知らなかったならしょうがないよ。
You couldn't have known.
俺っち最低野郎です。
Oh, I'm literally the worst. He doubled over as tears spilled from his eyes. Oh my god. I sat down next to him and rubbed his back.
ばあちゃん。
Aw, grandma. The kaiju in dramas came from outer space. Sometimes they came from nature, other times they came from deep beneath the earth from ancient sediment. The real kaiju, however, were everyday people who transformed. I remembered what happened yesterday and removed my hand from Hayata's back.
もっと撫でたってくださいよ。
Don't stop. Eh?
ああ、
Sometimes when I looked at Hayata, I was remembered? Wow, I was reminded of Kozuka. I'm really good at reading today. He continued to wail while I started to rub his back again. He probably needed a while to collect his emotions.
優しい人だったんす。俺っちが店番してる駄菓子屋にいつも遊びに来てくれて
She was such a nice person. She always came to visit whenever I was working at the candy shop.
関西弁で気強いけど、会うといつも頑張りやーって。
You gonna take you to the candy shop? She had the cutest Kansai accent and was so supportive. Every time she saw me, she'd say, "Hang in there, you hear?"
娘さんの行方が分かってないのも俺っち心配で。
I was worried about her because her daughter had gone missing too. The most awful thought crossed my mind.
娘さんって何歳？
How old is her daughter?
知らないっす。昨日警察が来て家族がいるって初めて聞いたので。
I'm not sure. Yesterday the police were here. It was the first time I'd heard about her family.
90歳のばあちゃんだから60か50だとは思います。
She was old, like in her 90s, so the daughter must have been in her 50s or 60s.
そうだよね。
Right. A daughter, a Kansai accent.
おかん
When oddly shaped pieces came together, the resulting image will of course be warped. I shook it off as nonsense and started to rub Hayata's back again. My switchboard job started at 9 in the morning. This was normally when I'd take a break between my deliveries and my commute to Shimokitazawa. This, like, tests my ability to pronounce Japanese words. My mind was racing. I worked my shift with my brain in a fog. A Kansai accent. A missing daughter. Kaiju. My pounding heart. Maybe I was just hungry. Maybe you need a Snickers. The crowded train home was more packed than usual. There was a letter stuffed into our mailbox. It was the report with the results of the kaiju investigation. I tried to open it, but I just didn't have the strength. I climbed the stairs, feeling as though I was carrying yet another shackle around me. My body felt heavy. I stood outside the apartment in a daze, but when the crows signaled the coming of dusk, I turned the doorknob. Nothing about the apartment had changed. Except when I looked down, I saw a little girl. Sakura was drawing in the seat where Kozuka normally worked on his manga. The Icarus plush was sitting on the table. She was silently capturing his image.
しょうちゃんさんおかえりんさい
Welcome back, Mr. Sho.
ただいま。
Thanks. I thought Tadaima meant I'm home. I don't know, I could be full of shit. I placed a paper bag on top of the table. She was confused for a moment, but the drawing on the bag made her eyes light up.
食べたことある？
Have you had it before?
うん
Yeah.
一緒に食べよう。
Let's eat together. She kept her eyes on me as she slowly pulled out the contents of the bag. Think bury these sort of lines that are repetitive. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I also watched her closely. I was waiting for the right moment to bring up what was weighing on my mind.
さくらちゃんはいくつだっけ？
How old are you, Sakura?
9
9. So she's in the 3rd grade.
小塚くんとはどこで暮らしてたの？
Where did you and Kozuka live before?
小塚くんって君のお兄さんのこと。
Your brother, Kozuka. I didn't want to be suspicious, but I couldn't shake this nagging feeling.
祖師ヶ谷
Soshigaya.
祖師ヶ谷ってここだよ。
This is Shoshigaya. Kozuka lived in Shibamata until he moved here a year ago. It was likely true that Sakura lived in Soshigaya, though. The only thing on the paper bag was a drawing of a flower. Nowhere did it say cream puffs on it. She wouldn't have known what was in the bag unless she had been living here.
君のこと知りたいだけなんだ。
I just want to get to know you.
本当のこと話すなって。
I was told to lie.
誰に言われたの？
By who? Light footsteps were coming up the stairs.
あんちゃん。
翔ちゃん、ただいま。はい、お帰りなさいのあれ。
I'm home, show. Now where's my welcome home, you know what?
はい、いけず。おお、さくら、いい子にしてたか？
Oh, so mean. Hey, Sakura, were you a good girl?
さすが俺に似てお絵描き上手だな。
Oh, you're such a good artist, just like me.
そんなさくらには新しい洋服のプレゼントだ。
I brought you some new clothes as a present.
小塚くん、ちょっと。
Can we talk, Kozuka?
どうした翔ちゃん、怖い顔して。
What's up, Sho? Your face looks scary. I needed to stay calm. Stay calm. As soon as I dragged him outside and shut the door, I grabbed Kozuka by the collar.
どういうことなんだ？さくらちゃんは君のこと何にも知らない。
What are you trying to pull? Sakura doesn't know a damn thing about you.
やっぱり何か隠してるんだね。
You're hiding something from me, aren't you?
別に。
Not really. What was with that tone then?
悪いことしてるんじゃないよね。
You didn't do anything bad, right?
ならちゃんと説明してくれ。どこで出会ったのか、どうして嘘をつかせるのか。
Then tell me exactly what's going on. Where did you two meet? When did you have... Why did you have her lie?
俺は翔ちゃんには嘘つかね
I wouldn't lie to you.
じゃあどこで出会ったのさ。
Then where did you meet her?
言えないんじゃ同じことだよ。
Not saying anything is just as bad as lying. Kozuka looked tense as my grip tightened.
え。言ったって。どうせ信じられないぜ。
You wouldn't believe me even if I told you.
俺だって信じらんねえんだ。
Even I don't believe it.
小塚くん。
さくらは妹の生まれ変わりなんだ。
Okay. Sakura is the reincarnation of my little sister. That meant
亡くなってるの？
she died. You and Sakura aren't related at all then.
生まれ変わりなんてありえない。
There's no such thing as reincarnation.
さくらちゃんには本当の親がいるだろう。それが誰か君は知ってる？
That means Sakura has real parents somewhere. Do you know who they are?
知らね
I don't.
本物の誘拐犯になっちゃうよ。
You really are a kidnapper.
え。警察にも言った。連絡先も伝えてる。一緒にすんじゃねえ。
I went to the police. I gave them my contact information. I'm not a kidnapper.
もう一度警察に行こう。
Well, let's go to the police again.
ちょっと！
Hey. He pushed me away and went back inside the apartment. Then locked the door. Just when I thought he was going to barricade himself inside, he came back out with Sakura slung over his shoulder. He flew down 2 flights of stairs with ease. I was dumbstruck for a moment, but immediately went after him. Sakura was holding on to the Icarus plush, looking utterly confused.
さくらが邪魔なんだろ。俺と二人になれないからって。
You think Sakura is a burden, don't you? Because now we can't be alone, right?
うぬぼれんな！
Don't act like I'm the one being selfish here.
翔ちゃんとは今日で別決だ。
Oh my god! After today, you can find yourself another piece of ass show.
ケツ別 決
You mean we're through? I was so shocked I stopped in my tracks and watched him leave. I loved Kozuka so much, though. He wasn't thinking straight. I should know that after all the time we spent together. Yeah, what the fuck? What the hell? I ran after him even faster and kicked him in the back. Worth it. He slouched forward and staggered. He's stupid. As soon as he put Sakura down, I picked her up.
待て待て。
君を犯罪者にしたくない
I won't let you become a criminal. He could hate me if he wanted. I didn't care if we broke up. I'd harden my heart and go to the police this time, not just for Sakura, but for Kozuka too.
かごめ翔太郎様ですか？
Are you Shotaro Kagome? Hello. I heard someone's voice calling out to us. When I turned around, a woman in a black suit was standing there.
かごめ様ですか？
Are you Mr. Kagome? She asked again with a smile. After nodding hesitantly at her, she walked right up to me.
児童相談所のひばりです。
I'm Hibari from Child Welfare Services.
こんばんは
Hello.
こんばんは。あなたが円谷さくらちゃんですね。
Hello to you too. You must be Sakura Enya. Enya. That was the same name as the old woman. Kozuka's face went blank.
仙川のご遺体の第一発見者はかごめ様でしたね。先ほど警察に伺いました。
You were the one who found that corpse in Sengawa, right? You went to the police the other day.
さくらちゃんは一人娘。
That was Sakura's mother.
連絡がつかず探していたところ、まさかこんなに小さな方だとは。
Unable to get in touch with the daughter I'd been looking for, but I didn't expect her to be so young.
戸籍を確認して、やっとさくらちゃんに結びつきました。
According to the family register, Sakura is indeed related to her. Hibari approached Sakura and took her by the hand.
良い方たちに保護されて、よかったわね。
I'm glad these nice people have been taking care of you.
おかん、死んどるの。
Mama's dead?
詳しいことは施設で。ね。
How about I explain everything to you at the orphanage? She must have been holding everything in this whole time. All of Sakura's feelings came gushing out at once.
あんちゃん嘘ついたんや。
Anchan lied.
生きとるって言うたやないの。
You said she was alive.
嘘つき。
You're a liar. Oh my god.
さくら。
嘘つき。嘘つき。
Liar. Liar. She tugged on him, hit him, threw Icarus on the ground.
あんちゃんなんか大嫌いや。
Now I'm depressed. I hate you, Anchan. Hibari picked her up and placed her into the nearby car. They zoomed down the street towards the red setting sun. She called him a liar. He must have promised her something. I'm assuming the lady either was the kaiju and that's how she died, or she died via the kaiju. I don't know. Before I could even process what was going on, the cheerful sound of the hero siren began to play. Kozuka was slumped over in his sadness.
生まれ変わりなんざありえねえって分かってる。
I know there's no such thing as reincarnation.
言い過ぎた
I shouldn't have said that.
翔ちゃんはいつも正しいこと言ってるよ。
You're always right, Sho.
だけどよ、生まれ変わっててほしいんだ。
But I wanted it to be real.
ガキの頃、俺のせいで誘拐された。
It was my fault that she got kidnapped when we were kids.
そいつにそっくりなんだ。
She looked just like her.
怒鳴ってすまねえ。
Sorry for yelling at you. He started to walk away.
帰ってきてね。約束だよ。
Promise me you'll come home, okay?
小塚くん。
I picked up the beat-up Icarus doll and walked back home holding its hand. It was quiet inside. The light coming from the southern window as the sun went down made it look hotter and brighter than the afternoon. I couldn't believe I said all of that to him. It was such a trivial thing. I let my emotions get the better of me and wouldn't listen to a thing he said. I saw the yellow dress that was left behind. He was probably going to surprise her with the small futon, pillow, pajamas, and new vinyl Icarus that he had also bought. All of it had lost its warmth. I stuffed my face into my pillow and laid there until the sleep could take me. I met Kozuka 1 year ago. I was a janitor at an office building, and one day a strong gust of wind sent me flying off the roof. I saw my life flash before my eyes. It was Kozuka, the building manga artist, that reached out to me in the nick of time. He had come to the building to submit his manga for publication, but the pages went flying into the big blue sky because of me. If I had been a kaiju back then, no one would have saved me. I would have been left to fall. But if I were a kaiju, Kozuka and I wouldn't have been able to be together. But if I were a kaiju, I would have never met you, and I would have never had the chance to hurt you. Oh God. But that was all I could ever say. I was awakened by the beating of my own heart. It was exactly 2 in the morning. Oh crap, if I didn't hurry, I'd be late. I drank a cup of water from the sink and then brushed my teeth. I was about to rush out of the apartment when I remembered the letter on top of the table. I turned around, unable to decide what to do for about 5 seconds. I ended up taking off my shoes again. I sat down and opened the results of the kaiju investigation and saw the word negative. I assumed the reason why I didn't feel any relief was because of everything else that was troubling me at the moment. I had no idea where to even begin fixing things in order to make everything okay again. By the time I could see the delivery station, the truck had driven right by me.
遅れてすみません。
Sorry I'm late. Everyone was acting strange. No one spoke to me and were avoiding eye contact. Only Hayata looked at me as though he was going to say something, but he lowered his head when the manager came in.
Kagome, 話がある。
Kagome, we need to talk.
警察の世話になったそうだな。誘拐事件に関与したと。
I heard you were in police custody. You were involved in a kidnapping.
あれは誤解で。
It was a misunderstanding.
怪獣の血を浴びたそうだな。
I also heard you got covered in kaiju blood.
お前はクビだ。
You're fired.
僕の担当は。
What about my route?
代わりの者を隣の支部から雇った。お前は不要だ。
I hired a replacement from the neighboring branch. We don't need you anymore.
話を聞いてください。
Let me explain.
火のないところに煙は立たん。
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
帰れ。
Go. I was handed my final wages. Actually, it was just an empty envelope. Rude. I rode home on my bicycle. I had shown him the letter with the results of the investigation and explained it was negative, but he still wouldn't believe me. My manager didn't trust me.
首
Fired.
怪獣の血飲んじゃったんだって
This is some
感染しちゃったわ
fucking
ね
racist ass shit. You drank kaiju blood, right? You're probably infected. She wouldn't even look at me, so I gave up immediately. She tossed some cash at me from between her long fingernails. I picked them up, ignoring the stares, and stuffed them into the envelope from this morning.
今までありがとうございました。
Thanks for everything.
いいえ
Sure.
惨めねあの子他に働き口あるのかしら
Poor thing. Who will hire him now?
所長聞こえます
He can hear you, ma'am.
いいのよ心配してあげてるだけなんだから
It's fine. I'm just worried about him. Worried about him is all. I never really thought about whether I liked my jobs. I didn't think it mattered. I always thought that if I didn't ask for much, didn't gossip between people's backs, and never said anything to offend anyone, I would live my life without anyone ever hating me. I now knew that that wasn't the case. Everyone was afraid of the kaiju. I walked towards the Shimokitazawa station. It was a busy town full of narrow, disorderly streets with power lines everywhere. It was almost noon, so businessmen were coming out in droves to fill their stomachs. I, on the other hand, felt no hunger as I walked the streets like a zombie. That was when around Subaru, they mean Subaru, came down the narrow street. I weaved through the pedestrians and seemed to be heading to the same station I was. It suddenly stopped in front of me. It emitted an almost obscene amount of boldness there in the middle of the street. The person who got out of the car was a man that I had seen somewhere before. He came right up to me and spread out his arms.
やあやあ偶然僕を覚えておいでかな蝶つがいさんだよ
Hey, what a coincidence. Do you remember me? It's Chotsugai.
暗いねカゴメくんその存在感僕じゃなきゃ見逃しているぞ
You have such a dark aura, Kagome. Anyone other than me would have completely missed you.
昼から下北で何をしている
What are you doing in Shimokita at this hour?
仕事してます。
Working?
そうかいならよかったさようなら
Well, that's good. Bye then.
さようなら。
Bye.
ってなると思うかい
You didn't think I'd let you off that easy, did you?
君が心配で思わず車を降りたんだ僕は霊感があってね
I was worried about you, and before I knew it, I was getting out of the car. I have something like a sixth sense for these things.
君には死神がついている
Death clings to you.
え
Huh?
心当たりはあるかい
You have any idea why? I couldn't think of anything, so I shook my head.
とにかく放っておけない
Either way, I can't just leave you like this. He opened the passenger door. No thanks, I said as I shook my head.
そう言うと思っただから正直に話そう今朝バイトが辞めた
I figured you'd say that. That's why I just cut to the chase. One of my part-timers quit this morning. Chotsugai suddenly fell to his knees and grabbed me by the arms.
穴埋めしてくれないかな報酬は弾むよ時給はいくらだいその2倍弾もう
Could you fill in for him? I'll pay you. How much do you make an hour? I'll double it, please.
4倍でどうだ
I'll quadruple it.
わかりました。
Fine. I wasn't sure why I agreed. Seeing Chotsugai let out a sigh of relief instantly made it harder to back out. He invited me into his car before I could change my mind. There was camera equipment stacked in the back seat. Without much choice, I sat in the passenger seat, and before I could even put my seatbelt on, we were off.
この間はありがとうございます。
Thanks for the other day.
いやー、気にしなさんな。僕はお人よしでね。ただの自己満足さ。
Oh, don't mention it. Just being a good Samaritan. I did it for my own satisfaction.
これから何をお手伝いすればいいんですか？
How exactly will I be helping you? I had to ask at least.
公園で家族写真を撮る。君はレフ板を持って子供の笑顔を照らしてくれ。
I'm photographing a family at a park. You'll be holding the reflector to make sure that we capture the boy's smiling face.
それだけですか？
That's it.
それが難しいからバイトが続かない。
It was difficult enough for my assistant to quit.
改めてカゴメくん。悪いが今日はよろしく頼むよ。
Allow me to formally thank you for helping me out today, Kagome. He handled worried he was a pimp. He handled the steering wheel with grace as he drove through the crowd of people. He handed me his business card again. This time it read, Freelance Photographer Shiro Chotsugai. Watching him drive one-handed made me nervous, so I took the card. I drive one-handed all the time. Is that a bad thing?
2枚目。だろ？
It's your second one, right? Yeah. Why are you blushy? Don't you still have a boyfriend? My face is burning. I couldn't handle people who were this smooth. I turned away for a moment, then looked back at Chotsugai again. Oh my god. I turned away for a moment, then looked back at Chotsugai again. He really was charming. Hanegi Park was a few stations away from Soshigaya Station. It was a huge park that I only knew by name. It was plum blossom season, so a lot of people were here today. A family was waiting by the entrance of the tree-lined path. Their party included a dad, a mom, and their son. Chotsugai adjusted his tie and approached them with his finest smile.
さあ、お待たせしました。
So sorry to keep you waiting.
1時間の遅れです。
You're an hour late.
すみません、道路が混んでいたもので。
My apologies. There was traffic. The wife was glaring at him. An hour late was unacceptable, but judging from Chotsugai's nonchalance, I had a feeling that was something he needed to be taught. Let's go, he said as he led the way. He didn't forget to greet the son either. His charm was probably how he made his living. I was about to follow them when somebody suddenly stood in front of me.
やっぱり翔ちゃんだ。
Is that you, Sho?
小林くん。
Kobayashi?
こっちに戻ってきたんだね。
Oh, are you a crazy ex-boyfriend or some shit? Because I don't remember. You've finally come back to me. Oh god, his cheerful tone made his wife turn around. He put his arm around me and dragged me towards the two members of his family.
いつも話しているカゴメ翔太郎くんだ。
Yeah, he do. This is the guy I'm always talking about, Shotaro Kagome.
あなたが翔太郎さん？はじめまして。
So you're Shotaro. Pleased to meet you.
夫からよく聞いています。
I've heard a lot about you from my husband.
いやあ、なんてことだ。
My god, it's been forever.
本当に久しぶり。少しも変わってないね。
It really has been a while. You haven't changed a bit.
ああ、翔ちゃんこそ全く変わってないな。
Hardly. You're the one who hasn't changed at all.
埋もれ木に花が咲くとはまさにこのことですね。
This must be what they mean by the most beautiful flowers take the longest to bloom. Chotsugai said in an attempt to turn his tardiness into a blessing as he walked on ahead. I quietly walked up next to him and whispered so no one would hear.
帰っていいですか？
Can I leave?
今さら何を言っている？
Why would you say that now? He was smiling, but his voice was cold. I couldn't help shrinking back and slowing down my pace. Kobayashi tapped me on the shoulder just then.
翔ちゃん、いつからカメラマンの仕事？
When did you start working as a photographer?
そんな、ただのバイトです。
This is just temporary employment, sir.
ですって。よそよそしい関係じゃないだろ
Why are you being so formal? We're closer than that, aren't we? The only people who called me Sho were Kozuka and Kobayashi. Kobayashi was someone special to me. I didn't mean special in a good way, though. I was really starting to regret coming here now. Unfortunately, the weather was cloudy. Chotsugai wouldn't have been able to capture the little light there was without a reflector. He continued to take pictures of the boy and plum blossoms while he adjusted his camera settings. Kobayashi and his wife watched from a distance.
少年、もう少し笑ってくれないか？
Young man, could you try smiling a little for me?
横顔に自信があるのかい？
You prefer your profile?
違います。
No.
ならこっちを向いてくれ。
Then could you turn towards me, please? The boy stubbornly stayed where he was. If Chotsugai tried going around him, the boy would turn too. Which meant I would also have to go around.
ああ、そうだ。お父様に撮ってもらおうか。
Right then, why don't we get Dad to take the picture?
やめてください。
Don't. He turned to glare at us. Chotsugai immediately snapped the picture. What a dirty trick.
ひどい。
That was mean. Oh.
君、SRB の。
You're that boy from SRB. He immediately turned away again. I knew he looked familiar when I saw him the first time. I never would have guessed that he was Kobayashi's son. Besides, SRB was the name of the organization behind the drama Mad Strategies.
そのドラマ、来期で終わるそうな。
I heard that drama will be ending next season.
謎を科学で証明するなんて、それこそ非現実だと言われてな。
I was told the mystery would be solved with science, and that just made it unrealistic.
嘘です。
You're lying.
しょうがないさ。ヒーローが出ない作品は売れやしない。
It was inevitable. Shows without superheroes don't sell.
そんなこと。
I can't believe it. He was about to snap a photo of the boy while he was on the verge of tears. Unable to take it anymore, I lowered the reflector. Chotsugai lowered his camera indifferently.
いろんな表情を撮ってくれと依頼された。悪く思わないでくれたまえ。
I was asked to take pictures of him expressing all kinds of emotions. I'm not a monster, I assure you.
誰が父さんの望みなんか叶えるか。
Why would anyone do anything my dad says?
いつも家にいないくせに。今日だってせっかくのお休みなのに。
He's never
休み
home.
なのに。
He's never home. He finally has the day off, and his dad finally had a day off, and he was making him spend it with two boring adults. Chotsugai and I looked at each other. Would we ever be able to get this kid to smile? Eventually, the sun was completely hidden by the clouds.
休憩だ。30分したら再開しよう。
Let's take a break. We'll start again in 30 minutes.
はい。
Okay. Chotsugai quickly picked up his camera and rushed off somewhere. I was about to go after him when the reflector was suddenly snatched away from me.
小林くん。
Kobayashi?
意外と軽いな。これなら俺も扱えるかな。
It's surprisingly light. I wonder if I could figure out how to work one of these.
できると思うよ。
I'm sure you could. I couldn't bring myself to tell him it was the first time I'd ever touched one. Kobayashi returned my wry smile with a grin.
そこのベンチで休もうか。
Why don't we take a break over at that bench? I was having a hard time folding the reflector umbrella back up. He tried his best to force it shut, but ended up breaking it. Kyoko knelt among the weeds to search for 4-leaf clovers under the patchy sky. Kobayashi watched her lovingly.
清子とは見合い結婚だったんだ。こんな俺に尽くしてくれるいい妻だ。
My marriage to Kyoko was basically arranged. She's a good wife to put up with someone like me.
幸せそうだね。
You two seem happy. Graduate from a good high school, got into a good university, and you'll find yourself a good wife. If you couldn't call that happiness, I didn't know what else to call it. And yet, I thought I could detect something down about his voice when he agreed with me.
完璧に歩んできたつもりが息子に好かれず困ってる。
I wanted to do things right, but I can't seem to get my son to love me.
誰に似たんだか頑固者でさ。
He's stubborn, like someone else I know.
君だと思う。
You mean you?
だよな。
Exactly.
昔の君そっくりだよ。
He's just like you at that age. Kobayashi finally smiled.
ただしって言うんだ。君の小の字をもらった。
His name is Tadashi. I used the first character of your name. Wait. What?
なんで？
Why?
君のようになってほしくてさ。
I wanted him to be like you. What if I end up liking him because he's yandere? Oh no. Oh no, I'm a bad person. Oh my god. I'm a terrible, awful human. Oh my god. Oh no.
改めて後で紹介させてくれ。
Let me give you a proper introduction later. How could my name have any influence? A bad influence, maybe? I couldn't read the expression on Kobayashi's face.
僕を模範にしたらきっとグレるよ。
If he follows in my footsteps, he'll definitely end up a loser.
でも君はグレてないじゃないか。
You don't look like a loser to me. I never had any intention of doing bad things, but I didn't do anything especially good either.
清子さんは知ってるの？
Does Kyoko know?
ああ、
Yep.
よく許したね。
I can't believe she let you do it. A name is something precious. He would have been better off with a character from one of his parents' names.
彼女も俺がろくな人間じゃないことを知ってるんだ。
She also knows I'm not a decent person. Oh, cool.
そんな。
What?
君が一番よく知っているだろう。
You probably know that better than anyone else, though. Kobayashi hated lies and wickedness, and served his own brand of justice. He would beat up bullies who would end up becoming his followers. Eventually, the former bullies came up with a way to weed out the other bullies without Kobayashi having to get his hands dirty. They worshipped him like he was Momotaru. I stuck by him like Momotaru's pheasant. One day, everyone turned on me with one word from Kobayashi making me the ogre in the story.
また、アキラくんって呼んでほしい。
I'd like it if you could call me Akira again. I could smile at him. I could talk to him. But the reason I couldn't calm this pounding in my chest was because I had yet to heal from the wounds that he had inflicted on me back then.
昔みたいに。
You know, like old times.
ごめん、
Sorry,
無理だよ。
I can't. The loudspeakers began to howl. Suddenly, the hero siren was blaring throughout the park. Kyoko came running over to us.
ただしは
Where's Tadashi?
それがさっきまであの丘にいたのに。
He was just on top of that hill.
まさかまた怪獣を追いかけて
Oh, don't tell me he went chasing after kaiju again.
僕が探してくる。
I'll go look for him. I handed the reflector to Kobayashi. His eyes went wide as he accidentally opened the umbrella. It was the middle of the day on a weekday, so there was a lot of mothers with their young children here. Going against the crowd, I ran towards the direction of the screams.
蝶つがいさん
Chotsuga! What the fuck is that? That is a weird thing. Walking along the tree-lined path was a pink kaiju. In its sights was Chotsugai with his camera ready. Tadashi was at his waist. Chotsugai smirked when he noticed me.
レフ板は持ってきてくれたかい？
Did you bring the reflector?
逃げてください。
Get out of here, it's dangerous.
それは僕を心配しての言葉かな。
Are you saying that because you're worried about me?
そのカメラには正しくんの写真が。
That camera has Tadashi's pictures.
知ったこっちゃない。
I don't give a damn. What an awful person. Despite being distracted by the screams around it, the kaiju's footsteps were still headed this way. Had Chotsugai done something to piss it off? I didn't exactly have time to ask.
この子を連れて行ってくれ。
Take the kid with you.
あなたも戻るんです。
You need to come back with us too. I grabbed the camera by the lens and pulled it away from his eyes.
そこを触るのは反則だろう。
No fair grabbing the lens.
早くここから。
We need to get out of here. The kaiju was unsteady on its feet. And then words that I couldn't read because it went really fast. The roar that came out from its small mouth turned into a gust of wind that washed over us. It dug at the ground with its front leg like a bull and then came charging at us. We froze. We couldn't move. Look at his angry face. He is perfect. At this rate, the three of us would. Suddenly, a red handkerchief came fluttering past us. The handkerchief blocked the kaiju's small field of vision, sending its giant body crashing into the trees.
今のうちに逃げるんだ
Run away while you can. Kobayashi was using himself as a shield. This was insane. There was no way he could fight it. As long as we can hear the hero siren, there's something we can do. The sun finally showed its face from behind the clouds. Its faint rays split between the something. A silhouette we all recognized stood out sharp against its light. A flash of lightning struck the kaiju on the top of its head. The shadow was flung away by the impact and landed gracefully on the ground. It was Sun Mask Icarus in the flesh. The speakers bent by the powerful gust played a distorted version of the hero siren. The children's eyes sparkled at the sudden superhero show unfolding right in front of them. No one was afraid now that Icarus was on their side. Suddenly, an orange light came down from the sky. It washed over the kaiju from top to bottom like a waterfall. Perhaps blinded by the light, Icarus began to slow down. The heaving kaiju used its tail to strike Icarus. He went flying, taking the ground with him. The kaiju went at Icarus with a violent energy of a dying flame. It charged with its entire body. Even if it didn't hit anything, it couldn't save itself from its own body weight. It had lost all control and no longer cared about any of that. I remembered that light. It was the same color as the light from when I had my first encounter with the Sengawa kaiju. Everyone was focused on Icarus and the kaiju. I was the only one who noticed the Icarus in white on the rooftop nearby.
イカロス
The cheers became screams once again.
血迷ったかイカロス。王子の突進を腕一本で受け止めるだと。
Have you lost your mind, Icarus? You're going to stop the bull with one arm?
無茶だイカロス。36系逃げるにしかず。誰も君を責めたりしない。
That's insane, Icarus. Sometimes retreat is the best strategy. No one would blame you for running. His fist struck the kaiju right between the eyes. Its own momentum sent the rest of it barreling into Icarus's fist. Cute. Icarus defeated the kaiju. Bathed in crystals of light, Icarus's back seemed wider than ever before. The screams of sorrow were now cries of joy. The hero sirens eventually stopped. The heavy clouds and crystals were swept away by the wind.
ただし
Kobayashi, wife, and son hugged each other with tears in their eyes. Totsugai was the only one with a somber look on his face. Something must have happened to his camera. Sure enough, it had been sliced apart. After everything was over, Icarus left and the police Police arrived. They taped off the area, but the kaiju had vanished without a trace. They took statements from the people in the area, did a simple investigation, and gradually let everyone go. Clarice. By the time we reached the parking lot, it was past 5 o'clock.
残念ですが、本日はこれで。
Unfortunately, that'll have to be it for today.
しらばっくれるな
Don't play dumb with me.
ただしを連れ出した上に撮った写真も刊行しただ
Not only did you run off with Tadashi, you let the film get ruined.
君の過失じゃないのかい
It's your fault, isn't it?
故意か過失か問われたら、軽過失ですかね。
If you're asking if it was on purpose or an accident, I suppose I'd have to say it was mostly an accident.
俺が出なかったらただしと翔ちゃんがどうなっていたか
Who knows what would have happened to Tadashi if Sho hadn't have shown up?
警官として君に前科をかけることくらい
As an officer, I should be placing you under arrest. Oh, you're a cop. Fun.
やめて
Stop. Tadashi, who should have been in the car, ran up to us. Kyoko was behind him, frantically trying to chase him down.
おじさんは悪くない
He didn't do anything wrong.
僕が勝手におじさんの後をつけていったんだ
I followed him on my own.
ただし
おじさんにひどいこと言わないで
Don't say anything bad about him. Oh, he's too old for you, honey. Kobayashi couldn't lower his fist raised at his heart. He held his tongue as Kyoko fell to her knees and pulled Tadashi into her arms.
お父さんが怒るのはね、ただしの写真がなくなっちゃったからなのよ。
Your father is angry because his pictures of you are gone.
今日をすごく楽しみにしていたの。
He was really looking forward to today.
写真なんかいくらでも撮るよ学校だってこれからはちゃんと行くだからおじさんを怒らないで
We can take pictures any day. I'll make sure to go to school from now on, so don't be angry, Dad. Tadashi quieted down. Kyoko looked up at Kobayashi and gave him a relieved smile. God, I'm so good at reading. Holy shit. He bit down on his lip and reluctantly unclenched his fists. He gave Totsugai a light pat on the shoulder. The three of them walked away into the sunset. Kobayashi had the face of a father now. Compared to him, I probably had a lot of growing up left to do. As I turned away from the bright sunset, I heard the sound of a match being struck beside me. Totsugai took a long drag of a cigarette with an empty look in his eyes.
吸うかい
You smoke?
いえ、タバコは嫌いで。
No, I can't stand cigarettes.
それは失敬。しかしまさか君と依頼人が知り合いとはな。
Pardon me then. I can't believe you knew my client, though.
君は嬉しそうじゃないな。あっちはそうでもないようだが。
You didn't seem all that happy about it, unlike him.
話したくないことの一つや二つ
We all
誰
have
にだってあるよ
things.
な。
I'm so good at this. We all have things that we'd rather not talk about. Smoking seemed to release the toxicity inside Chotsugai. Calling it his toxicity might have been a mean way to put it, though.
かごめくん、今日の謝礼だ。中を確認してみたまえ。
Here's your pay for today, Kagome. Have a look inside. This was 2 months worth of newspaper deliveries. It was a ridiculous amount of money.
これで君を雇いたい。
I'd like to hire you. It didn't matter how kind his words were or how much money was involved. I couldn't help but be suspicious. As soon as I thought about turning him down, he handed me a third business card. This time it read Photo Studio Reincarnation. Reincarnation. If you're weird... Oh my...
普段は三軒茶屋で写真館を営んでいる。よかったら明日も来てほしい。
Normally I'll work out of my studio in Sangenjaya? Sangenjaya? I'd like you to come join me again tomorrow.
明日は用事が。
I have plans tomorrow.
夜まで忙しくはないだろ
You won't be busy all day, right?
どうしてそこまで。
Why do you care so much?
う。君が気に入ったからさ。それに仕事がなくて困ってるんじゃないか。
What can I say? I like you. Besides, aren't you worried about being unemployed?
言ったはずだ。僕には霊感があると。君の左肩についたお母様が君を案じているようだ。
I told you, I have a sixth sense. I can see your, mother worrying over you by your left shoulder.
母は24年前に。
It's been 24 years since my mom.
24年前に
Since your mom what?
他界しました。
Passed away? Chotsugai snapped his fingers.
ほら見ろ、他界している。すごいだろ。僕の助言は信じるべきだと思うぞ。
See, she passed on the other side. Well, I'm amazing or what? That's why you should take my advice.
蝶津貝さんは僕が怖くないんですか？
You're not afraid of me?
怖い。君の何を？
Afraid? Of what?
怪獣の血を浴びたことが噂になって仕事を解雇させられたんです。
We're just gonna, like, not address the fact that he saw the ghost of your mom or some shit. Like, what it... Okay. There's all these rumors about me being soaked in kaiju blood. That's why I was let go of my jobs.
それでも僕を近くに置けますか？
Knowing that, can you still be near me? Everyone was afraid of kaiju. It had been a while, but I was reminded this morning of that prejudice I knew all too well from my childhood. No matter how much society may preach about the acceptance of kaiju, they couldn't help but being afraid of the things that frightened them.
一向に構わない。
I don't mind one bit.
噂を流したのはあの場にいた警官の誰かだな。
I'm sure it was one of those cops that'd been spreading the rumors.
保守的思考を盾に好き勝手言いふらしているに違いない。
They may have thought that they were erring on the side of caution, but it's no different from slander. He shoved his cigarette butt into his case, then gave me his kindest and smoothest smile.
だが安心したまえ。僕にはそんな偏見ないからな。
Don't worry, I'm not the type to judge. I couldn't trust him quite yet.
家まで送ろう。
I'll take you home. I couldn't trust him, but there was a part of me that wanted to. I had every intention of taking the train home, but I ended up sitting in the passenger seat of his car. It felt like Chotsugai had as many faces as the number of business cards he'd given me. I wondered what face he had on now. There was one that helped. There was one that offered me a hand like now. And there was one that spat out bitter words.
明日夜 仕事場に伺います。
I'll come to your studio tomorrow night.
働く気になってくれたかい？
You feel like working for me now.
見学だけ向いてるかどうかは蝶つがいさんが決めてください。
On a trial basis, I'll let you decide if I'm fit for the job.
向いているよ。僕はそう確信してる。
You'll definitely be fit for the job. I'm sure of it. I wasn't sure what he was I wasn't sure what he was basing that on, but maybe he saw something in me that I couldn't recognize in myself. Chotsugai parked outside the Sparrow House. He got out like a gentleman and waved at me as he leaned against the car.
それではカゴメくん、明日を楽しみに。
Goodbye, Kagome. I look forward to tomorrow.
先輩
Oh, God. Something came charging at me from behind and wrapped itself around my waist. It's Alien Boy. Or Slug Boy. Slug Alien Boy. But I've been going for an hour and a half, so I'm going to cut this for a YouTube episode, and then I will be back, chat. So, yeah. Bye-bye, YouTube. I will see you in the next video.